My first trip down here, it was just really exciting looking at this area and the potential for fun. It ended up being an event that changed my life forever. So this is it. This is where it all began. This is Dead Dog Beach. My name is Steve McGarva. I'm an artist, adventurer, family man, and an animal lover. When my wife Pam informed me that her job would move us to Puerto Rico, I was really excited about the prospect of living on the so-called island of enchantment. I've always been into extreme sports, so I couldn't wait to kite surf the Caribbean's warm, beautiful waves and paraglide the volcanic mountains. I had Google Earthed the perfect wind direction, the perfect beaches in Puerto Rico to go and play, and I came up with this place, Playa Lucia. Got out of the vehicle, grabbed the gear, and I was heading to the shore on my right and came across clearly by the one hazel eye, one blue eye, and the tufts of fur that were left on it that were matted like dreadlocks. The dog was a husky, a little bit timid initially, but upon approaching it, it picked up its head, wagged its tail, locked eyes, and that was the beginning of my journey in Puerto Rico. I just couldn't turn a blind eye. The amount of dogs just dumped off at Dead Dog Beach was unbelievable. I found out that the stray dog and cat problem were the municipality's responsibility, but that was just on paper. I started feeding and giving water to the dogs on my own. That was the least I could do. Blue Eye lived for about 3 weeks, was the first to greet me every day at the side of my car. At that point I vowed I had to do more than I was just doing. I couldn't just feed and water the dogs. I had to find a way to rescue them, to get their health back up, and to do something about these inhumane acts of cruelty. There was too much going on that was very suspicious. There's a few people like myself that'll come down here and feed the dogs and give them fresh water, but then you've got some sadistic people that end up coming down and pouring antifreeze into the water. I went to Angel Garcia, the mayor of Yabucoa, and the police when I'd seen some inhumane acts of animal cruelty here. They just told me to stop. They're doing everything they can. I just need to enjoy my time in Puerto Rico and leave it alone. Dogs that have had collars and chains so tight around their neck that they've outgrown them. After one interview on the local news channel, I thought maybe it would make a little difference, and it did to the negative. I came down to find dogs that had been live hung. They tied them up in the boathouse. They tied them on one of the little paths in the back here where some of the mothers would go to dig a den. And they knew my path. They had seen me do it so many times. They'd obviously scoped me out. And 5 men walk out and they've got something clearly in their hand and up their arm, and they're turning sideways facing me, telling me to come here, in Spanish. I'm like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And the dogs would not let these guys come anywhere near me. The dogs were freaking out. One of the guys just decided enough, and he started to run at me. All of the dogs, the alpha dogs, went at him to protect me, and at that point, a young shepherd named Kyle took a fatal blow across the neck and down the ribs, protecting my life. And in 2 years, I'd buried 1,200 dogs. An average of 2 to 3 dogs minimally a day. Sometimes it was massive killings, but there's definitely something very strong dead here. Somebody would have told me what I would have had to face. Who knows, maybe I wouldn't have traveled the path, because it was heartbreaking. I was fearful for my life many times. It began to change me according to my wife and everyone that knows me down here. I almost gave up helping so many in need. Luckily, Twig Mowat, a fellow rescuer with a big heart, stepped up and answered my plea. Help was on its way. Suddenly I've got people showing up with vaccinations and vet connections that I was never able to make on my own. We did neutering of all of the males, and I think we neutered 60 males. Third day, we had 17 dogs off of the beach, and that was the most ever at one go. Watching so many drive away, knowing they were going to live, was so overwhelming. And I thought, I'm going to make a difference. But I'm on a 2-year contract. I'm running out of time. I've got to work fast, but I'm still working against people that hate me. After I had received death threats, as well as our home being ransacked, people at Pam's company told us we had become a liability, and we were told we needed to return to the States immediately.
Steve said his goodbyes and boarded a plane that morning. Little did Steve know, something horrible would bring him back to Puerto Rico and the animals he had left behind.
Under direct order from the Barceloneta mayor, pets were to be removed from the lower-income housing complex. This operation was led by Animal Control Solutions and local police. The Spanish-speaking residents were only given a 2-day warning notice. The pet policy was actually written in English. They don't read English. It was a draft that was not enforced. They were told to surrender their pets or face immediate eviction. On October 11th, 2007, the unthinkable happened. Over 50 pets were forcefully seized.
Cada uno fueron vivienda por vivienda, incluso la de Jolly, que yo estuve en mi balcón ese día, y observé cuando la jalaban con algo que le colocaron en el cuello y la arrastraron hasta que la llevaron y dentro de la van la lanzaron.
It was like a drug raid. The residents were told that their pets would be taken to the local shelter, some would be euthanized, and some might be adopted. Sadly, none made it to the shelter. They were brutally thrown over a 50-foot bridge. We're nearing the site that the dog, where the animal control workers actually pulled off on the side of the bridge and, threw the live dogs, all the cats, off of the bridge. A few survived the fall. Most suffered a gruesome and painful death. Twisted and broken bodies were found in plastic bags. The police were called, but nobody came.
We came over here as rescuers to help with whatever dog needed veterinary attention or anything. And we came here and we found the gruesome scene.
Yali was picked up from one of the big trees that was cut open and all this, and she was like practically hanging in something similar to this tree.
Outraged citizens and animal rescuers tried to get answers, but all they got were contradictions and denials.
This case has been crucial in stopping the blind eyes of officials in the government towards animal cruelty, and this just, exposed everything.
This story is just beginning to unfold as the court case continues and more facts are uncovered. News of the Barceloneta Bridge incident has caused local and international outrage and embarrassment for Puerto Rico. Amidst government corruption and shocking discoveries of animal cruelty and human tragedy, the story of Dead Dog Beach must be told.
Way up high The dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. And somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly.